Hello, friends. How are you doing? I'm Rahul Vaswani from Supergrads, once again back with one more episode of Super Alumnus. And today we have someone from Narsi Munji Institute of Management Studies, Mumbai. Before I introduce my guest for today, let me tell you something which we initially started. We started Supergrads, as the name suggests, it's an abbreviation for super graduations with a vision. And the vision was that we observed that most of the India students in India are going towards traditional career sites. From traditional career sites, I mean into medical or engineering. And there are three basic reasons why they are opting these careers. First is peer pressure. Second is out of the herd mentality. And third is because they think that in future they should have some good image in front of the public. For the third reason, we came out with a brand called Supergrads, that in case if we convert their graduations into super graduations, then definitely their career will be secure. They will have immense higher education opportunities. They will be having good placement opportunities. And last but not the least, they will also be having entrepreneurship experience, or if they wish to start some entrepreneurship for themselves, they can do that. So today we have someone from Narsi Munji Institute of Management Studies, Ronak Gupta, in front of you all. We welcome you over here, Ronak. Ronak is passed out of 2016 from Supergrads.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm really humbled to be here. Looking forward to the introduction.
Yes, so Ronak, my first question for you today is, how has been your till date academic experience at NMIMS? If you can tell me something about that.
I'd say that my 3-year journey at NMIMS was really challenging and fascinating at the same time.
Okay.
It was challenging because, we had a lot of subjects to study. We had 8 to 9 subjects every semester with a minimum of 80% attendance to maintain. On top of that, we were also in a new city, so it was really a little bit difficult for us to cope up as well. And when I speak about myself, I'm also speaking about the 90% of my batch, which was comprised of outstation students. And when I say that it was fascinating, it was because the entire curriculum was designed in a way. It was not traditional way of educating the students. We had a lot of presentations, so the marking was a lot of associated with a lot of presentations, a lot of group discussions, panel discussions. We had a lot of debates in our class, and so the entire experience was something which personally I had never experienced before in my schooling days.
All right. So you mean to say your entire personality was polished by them? So all the listeners and viewers can understand this. Ronak is making a very strong point on record that he did his studies or graduations from Narsi Munji and not from a normal college, like most of the students. And they shaped him in completely different way, by giving him chances and opportunities of speaking in public and presenting himself by various modes and methods. So next question coming to you, Ronak, is if you can tell basically that one thing, not all, but one thing which you think has been bestowed to you by your college, which you feel that was not there initially before 12th standard.
I'd say so. It has been increased in the intensity. So when I went to Mumbai, I personally experienced a very big paradigm shift in my mindset. I met a lot of different people from different areas of the country. The people over there were from the best schools and the best of best schools across the country. So one thing I realized is that when you are in the presence of such great people, not just teachers but students as well, you experience a very growth and learning kind of mindset shift. So you meet people who are amazing at public speaking. You meet people who are good debaters. You meet people who are very creative. You meet people who for their entire lives have been associated with student bodies in their school. So you just get to learn so much that over the 3 years your personality is entirely transformed, and when you come out of college, your entire mindset is growth and learning oriented.
It's a very interesting point made by Ronak that he met so many good people that they impacted him so much that before and after version of him are a complete difference. So it's a very important point made by him, that his complete personality change happened after studying in that college. Okay, Ronak, how was the entry level? I mean, when you gave NPAT and you cleared it and you got to know that you are going to go into a college in Narsi Munji Institute of Management Studies in Mumbai, I should tell you all that he has studied his economics, BSc Economics from the flagship college of Narsi Munji Institute of Management Studies, that is Salla Anil Modi School of Economics, which is situated in Ville Parle. And definitely he might have gained a lot in that particular field. So I just wanted to know, when you entered, so was the exam tough? How did you prepare for it? And what advice will you give to all the listeners right now?
So I chose Supergrad for my preparation for all the examinations which I took after class 12. Okay. I'd say that the NPAT examination was not very difficult, but it was really competitive. What I mean by that is that the level of difficulty of NPAT examination was not at par with any, if you was not at par with IPM examination, whereas the competitiveness was very high because the sheer number of people, the total number of people who are applying for those 90 seats in BSc Economics was very high. So even if you miss one question during the examination, or if you go into emotions and answer one extra question just to try out your luck, you'll probably miss out on the chance of entering the NMIMS School of Economics.
Okay. And one more thing. I mean, from this, I also want to know that when you had been to Mumbai and when you met all new students over there, they may be a completely different crowd, people coming from all over the country. How did you do the ice breaking over there? I think it would have been a very difficult part at that point of time. Was that or not?
On the contrary, it was actually a very smooth transition from my hometown Bhopal to Mumbai.
Were you feeling caged over here?
No. So the thing is, right after class 10th, I knew that after class 12th, I have to go to another city for my graduation. So that was number one point. So mindset was already there that I have to leave my parents and go to a different city. Secondly, when I went to college, the first 3 to 5 days was solely dedicated to ice-breaking sessions and induction program. Okay. So after those 5 days, I got to know the entire batch by first name basis, and probably after 15 months, it was like I knew the people for more than 1 year. So, the kind of frankness and the kind of, the openness which I got experienced with the friends, it was like a very frictionless experience. The transition was very frictionless. Also, I lived in Mumbai with my school friends back from Bhopal.
Okay.
So that was also an added advantage for me. So not a difficult transition.
If I can understand your point and perspective that, it was a smooth transition because there was a proper induction which was conducted by the college at that point of time. By the college. So it's a wonderful thing. I think I've not heard it from anyone before that. I think many of the colleges can take this initiative further as well, that they do a proper induction of students when they're coming inside the colleges, and that would definitely help them, doing that ice breaking, because most of the students are coming from many backgrounds, and to fix them into one particular classroom, it's a difficult thing initially. Okay, my next question to you is, Ronak, what has been your finest moment till date? You have, gone through your studies for 3 years. So how did you feel over there, and what if you can share some of your finest moments over there?
I'd say academically, the finest moments, in hindsight. So right now, when I think about those experiences, they are very nice and very, you laugh when you think about those experiences. But when we actually were experiencing those things, it was very frustrating and irritating. So at the end of every semester, towards the end of every semester, we used to have this 1 week wherein we used to have 3 to 5 presentations scheduled, 3 to 5 tests, 3 to 5 project submissions. We had our research paper and seminar paper submissions. And on top of that, after 6 to 8 hours of college, we used to sometimes have extra lectures as well scheduled. So we were like, everyone was very exhausted. Everyone was very frustrated with the way the college was working. But then right now, when you think about those things, I think it is experience like these which shape your personality, and it is experience like these which teach you a lot. I think these are very fine experiences in hindsight.
I can understand that, definitely, Ronak. I think, and when we talk about Narsi Munji, it's a very big college in Mumbai, but there is one problem. Many of the people down South India or who are not aware about the Mumbai culture do not know about Narsi Munji. too much. If you can tell us something about Narsee Monjee Institute of Management Studies, it's standing in Mumbai, okay? And if you can speak about the goodwill it has in Mumbai, because I studied for my post-graduations from Mumbai only, so I very well know that. But if you will be telling to our viewers today, I think that will be great help for them.
So, first of all, talking about people coming from South India, I'd say that Mumbai has people from across the country working and studying and living. So there's no issue of language or finding people similar to you. Number one, and number two, talking about the goodwill of the college. So I'll tell you an experience. After first year, I was looking for a flat, so I wanted to change my flat, and I was hunting for a house with a broker. So this broker showed me an amazing house, like a decent house, which was well within my budget and was well within the radius of college. So, but the broker told me that the owner is very strict about to whom he'll give the flat, and he'll give the flat only to families who are pure vegetarian.
So are you vegetarian?
I told him, yeah, I'm vegetarian. So we were bachelors. So I told the broker, at least let me talk to the owner. So I called up the owner, and the owner told me no straight away. When I told him that I'm a student, he told me no. And then I told him that I'm a student of NMIMS second year, and it will be really great if you could give me your house because it's well within the radius. And he said, "Oh, you are from NMIMS. You can, you can take flat on rent."
A big point being made by you. Okay, please continue. I'll just speak after that.
Also, NMIMS has a very big brand recall value in Mumbai, at least because NMIMS has a flagship MBA program as well. And most of their MBA students, Mumbai is a corporate hub. So a lot of people in Mumbai offices are from NMIMS from both undergrad and postgrad level. So you have a very positive image about NMIMS, not just in the people living around NMIMS, but also in the corporates. So the goodwill is pretty high.
Okay, Ronak, you made a very decent point. I think that clearly tells you all that if a owner of a house can completely make shift his mind that that fellow he's not coming with his family to stay over there, but he is belonging to a college that is having extremely goodwill in the city. So I think he has given you the keys of that house, and I think you might have stayed in the same house for 3 years, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, so you have only for the second year. So I changed houses every year.
Okay. So you stayed for 1 year over there. So that does mean that that if you are doing a graduation from good college, the complete lookout of your personality changes. So while he was pursuing the graduation, there was a complete difference in the perception of an individual. Secondly, I recall one more incident from your talk that we have students from abroad as well, because we're teaching online. So students study from Qatar, from Dubai, specifically from Gulf. And one of the lady was telling me that her choice for her child is Narsee Monjee only. And I asked her, only Narsee Monjee, why not other colleges for which we are teaching as well? Then she told me that she wants to live in Mumbai, and she felt that Narsee Monjee is going to shape the career of her child beautifully. At that point of time, I understood, when people from outside India can also recognize our college, why not us? Why not people in India give weightage to that college and are going for simple graduations at their own places? Okay, if you can please tell me a brief thing about your curriculum, because you have studied over there for 3 years. What all was taught over there, and how did you like that or not?
So, like I said earlier, we had on average 8 to 9 subjects every semester. That turns out to be around 50 courses over the course of 6 semesters and 3 years.
3 years, 50 subjects.
Yes.
It's a big
and
number.
The best, yeah, it's more than any other public university in India.
Oh, okay.
And when you talk about the entire curriculum, the course is BSc Economics, but the course wasn't just teaching us economics or mathematics or statistics or IT. We had various other subjects, like we had finance, we had accounting, we had sociology, political science, we were taught literature, we had classes in law and motivational and leadership training. We were taught how to write creatively, or how do we had effective communication classes. We had several classes on how do you conduct yourself in various situations. So it was like a proper combination of economics and all the things surrounding it to, so it just gives you a very all-round experience of how the world works in terms of economics.
Ronak, this is my fourth interview, and I think there's one similarity in all the 4 interviews. Whenever I asked about curriculum from all the 4 guys, I mean, of the 3 girls before you, Anusha, Ishita, as well as Tanisha, and now you, all of you told me one thing, that curriculum is very diverse. They teach us each and everything apart from what we are doing majors for, or which is our main subject. So that does mean, they are shaping your complete personality. All the good colleges are actually taking care that, you should, when you're stepping out from that college, then you should be a complete personality for all the organizations or even the other colleges if you're going to join in the future. So I think that is a complete, I think that may be the mantra for their success of all these colleges. I think
in addition to curriculum, it's also, so it's equally divided between their curriculum, their teachers, and the kind of people you meet over there. Curriculum is definitely a very important thing, but to a certain extent, you can learn a lot of things which are in your curriculum outside of the college as well. It's just the entire experience which you have with your faculty, the interactions with your faculty, as well as the peer group in college. That's what really shapes up your career and personality. And for that matter, any good college you choose, you should always look out for the kind of peer group you will have and the kind of faculty you have.
Okay. Yeah, I think fair enough. He's making all very fair points, And now, Ronak, let me ask you one more question. We have talked a lot about academics. If you can give us, your experience in the non-academic background or non-academic side of NMIMS, so that our listeners and viewers, because क्या होता है ना कि वो चीज ज्यादा अट्रैक्ट करती है when we are actually going to the college. पढ़ाई तो होती रहेगी, but what apart from studies, if you can give some part, if you can give us some feeling of that right now, so that all the viewers will be attracted to your college and they wish to go into Narsi Munji in the future.
Sure. So NMIMS is situated on a road where you have 15 different other colleges affiliated to Mumbai University or NMIMS University, right? Okay. So you have this entire stretch of road, and every other week you have some or the other fest.
And a college street, so right?
No. So in their colleges, but then all the fests are so big in Mumbai, in all the colleges, that you get to know from other areas as well that there's a fest in that college. So if you are a person who likes to meet different people, you can definitely, there's a treat for you, because you can go to different colleges almost every single week and interact with the people, participate in competitions, and apart from that, all these fests, they organize amazing parties, after fest parties at night.
Okay.
So that's a great thing as well.
So you may be listening to the music if it is coming from some other neighborhood college, right? That you meant that.
The infrastructure is such that you can't really get to know, you don't really get to know what's happening outside your college when you're inside the classroom. But in general, when you enter the college, you definitely know what's happening around. And one more thing, which a lot of people who come to Mumbai are from Delhi and Kolkata, and they are big time foodies.
Okay.
And the canteen at NMIMS is something you could really give up. So people definitely will change colleges just to be in that canteen.
What's especially there?
Are really good.
What masala are they using?
It's not the masala; it's the variety of food which is available over there.
Okay.
You can demand anything and everything, and you'll get it.
So all the colleges are, having inbuilt restaurants over there. That's okay. Okay, please speak.
So apart from all these things, another good part about the colleges in Mumbai is that Mumbai in general is a very warm and welcoming city.
Yeah.
And if you're someone who has never lived away from your parents, then you should definitely come to Mumbai, and definitely to NMIMS, because you have teachers and students from different areas of the country.
Okay. So you talked a lot about Mumbai. If you can throw some light on the city as well, because it's financial capital of India, and I think it's completely different. It's a country in itself altogether. What we say, Mumbai is a country in itself altogether. So how is it different? Because someone living in tier 2 city would not be able to afford a flat over there. Renting भी वहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा है. फिर when I used to study in graduation, यहाँ पे बहुत बड़े colleges थे. over there the college size is not that big because land का cost इतना ज़्यादा होता है कि बस नहीं. But infrastructure is very good. So if you can throw some kind of light on Mumbai and how was that different from your hometown?
Okay. So like I said, Mumbai is a very welcoming and a very warm city. You never really feel different whenever you go to Mumbai, you talk to people, you feel like you're in your hometown only because people are really open and people are very open to helping you out. That's number one. Number two is in terms of differences in my hometown and Mumbai. Throughout my life, my favorite season has been winter season. And there is no winter season in Mumbai.
There's no winter season.
So all the people who come from North India or Northeast really hate Mumbai for that thing. But apart from that, it's really the best place to be.
Okay. Yeah, you're very right, Ronak, in this particular thing that, Mumbai is a fantastic place. It is a welcoming city and, busy, bustling, so many people around, crowded always. And it will give you an altogether different experience. What I feel, a lazy person will also become extremely active if he goes to Mumbai because Mumbai will push him again and again. Now, next question to you is, you were a student of Supergrads in year 2016. If you can share some of your moments of that time. So how are faculties, I think you were also taught by Karan sir, Arvind sir, and current lot of faculties. So if you can share, how did they help you in reaching your goals?
This is probably my perspective, and a lot of people also share this similar perspective, and it's that Karan sir, or for that matter Arvind sir, you never really consider them as teachers. They are your friends who know more than you and who are willing to teach you out. Right? I mean, they are so frank. There's no generation gap. There's no communication gap. You can just go to them and talk to them about anything and everything, and they'll be really supportive about things. So you go to Supergrads, or for that matter, any of the teachers over there, not just for education, but for also a lot of different advices and
because they empathize with you, right? Because they understand you they empathize with you and they understand what exactly you need. Okay, that's a big point you're making over here, Ronak, and I think all the 4 alumni till date have made some or the other point regarding the faculty, regarding the perspective of Supergrads, and thank you all for that particular thing. Now, next question. I think the moment for which most of the students are waiting on the screens right now, if you can give the strategy to them. I mean, what should be the strategy? They are studying in standard 11th right now, or 12th, or might have even taken drop for studying for Narsi Munji or IPM or all the related exams. So what should be their strategy right now?
So if you are in class 11th right now, then you should probably not focus much on your entrance exams after 12th. You can do a little bit of practice of probably 5 to 10 questions every day. Right. That's enough for if you're from class 11th. Talking about students from class 12th, also again, there's not too much to crib about. You should not take much burden. You should probably just focus on your class 12 board examination. But coming on to the people who have passed class 12 and now are preparing, probably dropouts, or are preparing for all the undergraduate course examination, I'll say that I'll say 2 things. Number 1 is that, see, the shortest distance between 2 points is always a straight line, right?
Right.
So, you should be very sincere, very honest with yourself, and always prepare for those 2 or 3 months, whatever duration you prepare for. You should be very honest for those 2-3 months from yourself. You should assess whatever you know, whatever you don't know, and then work on the shortcomings. Also, for the people who want to go to NMIMS, specifically BSc Economics, I'll say that you should take your IPM exams very seriously. Right. Because when you prepare for IPM, you're essentially preparing for all the other undergraduate entrance exams as well.
Right.
Because the level of difficulty of IPM is a little bit higher than all the other exams, right? So whether or not you pass your IPM, you'll definitely pass your NPAT exam.
That's
and
what
also,
rightly said. Yeah.
One more thing, you have to kind of manage your psychology in the sense that you should never get flown away. You should never get take away the fact that you have to attempt all the questions. Maintain your calm, be composed during the exam, and only attempt whatever you know.
Very right.
Guesses over there.
rightly said, Ronak. So he very rightly said, you should study for IPM and aim at the stars, so that even if you fall short, you still land on the moon. That does mean that if you are getting a bit lesser marks, then definitely you will have other options like NMIMS, Christ University, St. Xavier's, which are fantastic colleges, and definitely which can shape the careers of students in the future. Now, next question to you is the last question of this particular interview, but a very interesting one, because I'm going to say one thing to you. You have to rate your college out of 10 on that particular subject or thing. You have to give one reason as well, Ronak. Why are you rating it so high or low? So the first thing on infrastructure.
Infrastructure. So I'll give two ratings. One is academic infrastructure at NMIMS and the other is sports infrastructure. Academic infrastructure is 10 on 10 because there's no other better academic building which you'll find probably across India, which is better than the NMIMS building.
Okay.
You have amazing classrooms, you have amazing infrastructure in terms of the labs, the Bloomberg terminals which you have. They have amazing library, well equipped with all the kind of books and journals which you can expect to kind of require in your 3 years of course. And in terms of sports infrastructure, I'll probably rate 2 or 3 because firstly there's no
I think that's fair enough. I think we have spoken about that also, that
there's no place to develop that kind of infrastructure over there.
That's not possible in Mumbai, I think, because land rates are so high. You can one of my international marketing teacher, I remember, made a very big point once when he was teaching in the classroom, that for the cost of the flat I can buy a big villa in California. So that is a very big point which was made by my international marketing faculty. And because of that, you cannot have a sports grounds over there along with the colleges. Yeah. It's applicable to every college over there. Okay, next question. Faculty.
Faculty, 8 on 10.
8
because there's always a scope for improvement anywhere at all places. And number 2, the 8 is definitely on the highest which I could give, because the faculty is a little bit on the younger side of their age, and that's a very positive thing because they know what they really empathize with you in all the situations.
But why did you deduct 2 marks? Why did you deduct 2 marks?
Scope for improvement in
because
there's always some scope of improvement, because there's always
all right. Actually क्या रौनक वो वाला टीचर है जो होते थे ना कि 100 में से 60 दे दो, बच्चे को और इम्प्रूवमेंट करना है. Okay, all right, Ronak. After standard 12, student wish to go into college. बचपन से हमने movies देखी हैं. You might have checked जो जीता वही सिकंदर or दिल or all those movies where college life is very lavish. So what about the college life and college vibe? How much will you rate out of 10?
9 on 10.
9 on 10.
Again,
okay.
Very positive vibe not just in NMIMS but across Mumbai. Across all the you come to that street of NMIMS where NMIMS is there, you'll find it crowded with students, with auto rickshaws, crowded with parents and all. So it's just an amazing positive vibe. And college life, again, whenever you live with your friends, your life will make. So
okay. Now, I think you've already talked about it, but let me ask this question as well. Quality of the students over there, because they influence you a lot.
10 on 10, because
10 on 10.
You'll be around the best which the country has to offer in terms of the talent, in terms of how accommodative the people are, in terms of how open they are to teach you new things and learn things from you.
Right.
So 10 on 10 in that aspect. And one advice which I'd like to give to the students is that don't just choose a college which is near your house. If your parents are willing to send you to a different city, always go to a city which has a very strong student community and which has a very strong student community in the colleges.
I think
you will learn a lot from the students.
I think Ronak is making a very, very important point over here. I think that was an implicit question which I wrote somehow when I planned for the interviews initially. But I think more than faculties, more than infrastructure, more than lot, quality of student matter a lot for any of the educational institutions, because they will be going to create an impact on you that will be shaping your complete persona in the time to come. So I think you're making a very fair point over here on record, Ronak, that quality of students is something which should be given more importance to, and students should not just succumb to the colleges nearby. They should go to a place where student quality is of very high level, right? Okay, higher education opportunities.
So out of the batch strength was 90 in my case, and 80% of the entire batch went for higher education, and they are right now studying at the best of colleges in India.
If you can name a few, so that students can get. Yeah.
So if you talk about India, people are studying at IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Lucknow, IIM Indore. You have people who are studying at Madras School of Economics or IGIDR for their further economics education, just studying at Delhi School of Economics. And if you talk about abroad, there are people. So a friend of mine got selected at Yale as a silver scholar. So he's doing his MBA. Yes, so he's doing his MBA without work ex from Yale. Then there are people who go to London, Ireland. People are studying range of subjects ranging from finance, economics to climate change. So it's just that the opportunities open up to you after this course.
So I think Ronak is making a very, very, very strong point over here. And I think throughout the interview, I should appreciate this. He has been making some very fabulous points, which is very important for students. I think this interview should be seen again and again for this particular thing, that he has made very important and intelligent points. Now he is making a point that, if you are studying from NMIMS or some good college like NMIMS, definitely your higher education will be also very good. So most of them are into IIMs or have gone outside India or also studying in India in fantastic colleges. So Ronak, thank you for enlightening us for this particular thing. Last but one, placements.
Placements 7 on 10.
7 on 10.
Because I can justify that because first of all, very few people sit for placements. Like I said, 80% go for further education. And so there are not really a lot of people who are applying for placements. And And number two is that undergraduation in economics doesn't really open a lot of posts of economists for you. Right? You need to have a master's in economics or a PhD in economics to have a proper economics job. So right now, whatever placements are there they are in finance or investment banking mostly.
Okay. So you're giving a message to the students who wish to go into the field of economics that, economics is a field which needs more study. Economics is a field where, in-depth study is required. So after graduations, perhaps you might not be getting an opportunity of placement into good companies. However, they are providing you the placements, but student will,
companies, you'll get top-notch companies. You'll see companies like Barclays or Japanese Investment Bank, Nomura, or KPMG or Ernst & Young coming to your college. But but not for economics roles.
Right.
You'll have roles like finance or investment banking, but not core economics roles.
That's what I was saying. The same thing. That they would be coming for other courses, but not for economics. And so, if you're going for economics, then definitely plan for higher education as well, as his friends have done it till now. Last but not the least, life at college, because that is very important.
Again, when you move away from your parents, so my entire life I've lived with my parents, so there's always a ceiling to the kind of independence which I could enjoy my entire life, right? So when I moved to Mumbai, and I had a lot of friends over there who were from my same school, so they also moved to Mumbai. So life at college naturally became very nice because we had this newfound independence, and we had no foundations in terms of your entry or exit, the time at which you come back home and all. So life during NMIMS was amazing. Not just because of NMIMS, but because of Mumbai.
All right. So, NMIMS has a flavor of Mumbai, and NMIMS is a fantastic college because it is in Mumbai. It's fantastic because it's having fantastic infrastructure, faculty, higher education opportunities, placements, very important, very good student quality over there. So Ronak has made all the very good points. Thank you, Ronak, for taking out time for this interview. I should tell you guys that, when we were testing for this particular interview, I think it went for almost half an hour, but he was so calm and composed. Thank you for showing your patience also for this interview. Thank you, Ronak, for coming. And I'm sure that you'll be coming once again when we call you over here.
Welcome, sir. Definitely anytime.
Okay, thank you. And thank you, viewers, for watching this episode. Subscribe Supercrats YouTube channel now.